Hello everyone, welcome to back my channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before starting the video, please go ahead and hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. The family already boasts 19 kids and nearly 40 grandkids. Jinger Duggar and her husband Jeremy Vuolo are sharing that her dad Jim Bob Duggar is already thinking about how much their family will expand. In a clip shared to Instagram from the Jinger and Jeremy podcast, the mom of 3 and her husband spoke about Jinger's sister Jana Duggar and sister-in-law Abby Duggar revealing the sex of their babies to be. Today's episode, we've got big news. There's big news coming out of the Duggar sister baby world. Jana and Abby announced the genders of their kids, says Jeremy. Oh yeah. We easily could be at 100 grandkids for my parents super soon, Jinger says. Because not all the kids are married. Your dad sent this out the other day, says Jeremy, reading an email from his phone from Jinger's dad, Jim Bob Duggar. So this is assuming that every grandchild has 5 kids and then all of their grandchildren have 5 kids. So that's assuming a lot. But listen to how quickly it adds up. In 14 generations, there could be 24 billion Duggar descendants. Oh my goodness, Jinger said. Wow. In total, Jim Bob and his wife Michelle Duggar are parents to 19 kids. They are currently grandparents to nearly 40 grandkids and counting. On a previous episode of their podcast, the couple spoke about how Jinger can be a little crunchy when it comes to modern medicine. At one point, the mom of 3 explained that she's not a huge fan of sunscreen and often lets her kids soak up the sun. Sunscreen is a fascinating one because I have just seen headlines. So I haven't done the research, Jeremy said. Again, I'm not claiming to be, crunchy here, but the rates of skin cancer. And I've seen something saying sunscreen is actually not helping with that. I don't put sunscreen on all the time, which is probably why I have more wrinkles and because I'm in my 30s, Jinger replied. So I don't use that all the time. But I definitely try not to use the normal sunscreens because they're so toxic when you do the sprays and stuff. Jinger went on to explain that she prefers mineral-based sunscreens that you rub on instead of spray sunscreen. Like if we're gonna be in the pool for hours or at the beach or in an area that has heavy sun, but in the day when the kids are going out to play, I actually let them soak up some sun, said Jinger. I don't know if that's bad or good. But I do let them soak up some sun because I'm like, if it's not beating down, we don't try to go out when it's 100 degrees. When you come from one of reality TV's biggest families, big takes on a whole new meaning. For the Duggars, whose household first captivated audiences on 19 kids and counting and later counting on, the concept of family expansion has never been a question of if, only when. And according to Jinger Duggar Vuolo, her father Jim Bob Duggar is already dreaming on a cosmic scale. Recently, Jinger made a tongue-in-cheek remark that sent counting on fans into a laughing frenzy. During an interview promoting her latest book and podcast appearances, she joked that Jim Bob has started thinking about what life might look like when the 24 billion Duggar descendants are roaming the earth. It's a lighthearted exaggeration, but one that hits close to home for anyone who's watched the family grow generation after generation. Let's take a closer look at Jinger's playful remark, her ever-evolving relationship with her famous father, and how the Duggars' rapidly expanding family tree continues to astonish fans. From 19 kids to a multi-generational movement. When 19 Kids and Counting first premiered on TLC in 2008, audiences were mesmerized. The Duggars weren't just a big family, they were a phenomenon. Jim Bob and Michelle Duggar's commitment to faith, family, and frugality became the backbone of a new kind of reality TV fascination. At the time, many viewers couldn't wrap their heads around the idea of a single family with 19 biological children. But for Jim Bob, the number 19 was never meant to be a capstone, it was just a starting point. His philosophy of children are a blessing from God translated into a generational legacy that's now blossomed beyond his own children and into a wave of grandchildren. Fast forward to 2025, and the Duggar household is no longer one big house in Tontitown, Arkansas. It's a sprawling, nationwide family tree. With dozens of grandchildren and counting, the Duggars have truly become an institution. And in Jinger's words, her dad couldn't be more enthusiastically prepared for what's next. Jinger's playful revelation: Dad's already talking about 24 billion Duggars. Jinger, who's now 31 and living in Los Angeles with her husband Jeremy Vuolo, has become known as one of the more outspoken Duggar siblings. Her willingness to speak about her upbringing and her faith journey has earned her both admiration and criticism. But in a recent interview promoting her memoir Becoming Free Indeed, she showed her humorous side. When the topic of her growing family came up, Jinger laughed, saying, "Oh, Dad's already thinking ahead. He's talking about what'll happen when there are 24 billion Duggar descendants in the world. I told him, Dad, we might need a few more houses or a few more planets." The quip perfectly captured the Duggar dynamic, a mix of lighthearted humor, boundless optimism, and faith-based vision. Jim Bob's imagination for family expansion has always been large, but 24 billion? That's classic Duggar exaggeration, and fans loved every minute of it. Social media lit up with reactions. Fans on Reddit joked about the Duggar galaxy, while others commented that Jim Bob might just start planning interstellar mission trips. Even Jessa Seawald, Jinger's sister, joined in the fun by posting a laughing emoji under a fan's repost of the quote. But beneath the humor lies a deeper theme that's always defined the Duggar family story: legacy. Jim Bob's legacy vision. A patriarch's dream. For Jim Bob, family is not just a personal blessing, it's a mission. Over the years, he's often spoken about the importance of raising arrows for the Lord, a biblical reference from Psalm 127. Like arrows in the hands of a warrior are children born in one's youth. That philosophy has shaped the Duggars' approach to parenting, education, and family planning for decades. And while some of his children have chosen different paths, Jim Bob's legacy-driven outlook remains at the core of who he is. Those who've met Jim Bob say his optimism about family growth is almost infectious. He's the type who, at every wedding or birth announcement, gets misty-eyed and starts talking about the next generation. Jinger's humorous 24 billion descendants remark might seem over the top, but it's rooted in truth. Jim Bob has always seen the Duggar legacy as something meant to ripple outward across time. In his mind, each child represents not only a life but also the potential for future generations to live out the family's faith and values. The Duggar family tree, growing at record speed. Let's do a little math, something Jim Bob himself has probably joked about. The Duggars have 19 children. Many of those children are now married with multiple kids of their own. As of 2025, there are more than 30 Duggar grandchildren, and the number is climbing fast. Josh and Anna Duggar have 7 children. Jill and Derek Dillard have 3 boys. Jessa and Ben Seawald have 4 children. Joy Anna and Austin Forsyth have 3. Joseph and Kendra Duggar have 4. Josiah and Lauren Duggar have 2. Jedediah and Katie Duggar have 2. Jeremiah and Hannah Duggar welcomed their 2nd child this year. John David and Abby Duggar are expecting their 3rd, and the younger siblings are just getting started. So if each Duggar child continues this trend and each of their kids follows suit, the exponential growth begins to look startlingly close to Jinger's joke. Maybe not 24 billion. But the math sure makes it seem like Jim Bob's dream of a sprawling Duggar dynasty isn't too far-fetched in spirit. Jinger's perspective. Finding balance between legacy and independence. Jinger has been very open about her journey toward independence. Since moving to Los Angeles with Jeremy, she's made deliberate efforts to step out of the shadow of her famous last name while still honoring her family roots. Her book Becoming Free Indeed was a milestone in that journey. In it, she reflects on her upbringing in a faith community heavily influenced by Bill Gothard's teachings, explaining how she learned to separate biblical truth from strict religious rules. In interviews, Jinger has emphasized that her relationship with her parents, especially her father, has evolved. She loves her family deeply, but she's also honest about finding her own way. "I'll always cherish the things my parents taught me," she shared. But part of growing up is understanding your faith for yourself. I think Dad understands that, even if we see some things differently. So when she jokes about 24 billion Duggar descendants, there's affection behind it. It's a wink at her father's well-known enthusiasm for family and faith, mixed with her own lighthearted perspective on what it means to be part of such a famous clan. Life in Los Angeles. Jinger's new chapter. Moving from rural Arkansas to Los Angeles might sound like culture shock, but Jinger and Jeremy have found their groove. Between co-hosting their podcast, raising 2 young daughters, and exploring city life, Jinger has embraced a more modern lifestyle while maintaining her Christian values. Fans have noticed her subtle shifts over the years. From wearing jeans to attending mainstream events, she's shown that it's possible to grow beyond the strict boundaries of her upbringing without losing her core identity. Jeremy often praises her for her balance between grace and authenticity. "Jinger's one of the funniest people I know," he said in a recent episode of their podcast. "People think of her as quiet, but she's got this dry humor that sneaks up on you, like the whole 24 billion descendants thing. She's hilarious." It's true, humor has become one of Jinger's secret superpowers. In a family often surrounded by serious headlines, she manages to bring levity to the table, reminding fans that even in a household of 19 siblings, laughter still keeps everyone connected. The internet reacts. Fans have a field day. As soon as Jinger's 24 billion descendants remark hit the internet, counting on fans took it and ran. Memes began circulating within hours. One popular tweet featured a photoshopped image of Jim Bob standing on a cartoon Earth surrounded by baby carriages orbiting like satellites, with the caption, "Jim Bob's 24 billion Duggar universe, coming soon to a TLC spinoff near you." Another joked, "At this rate, the Duggars will need their own country. Duggarland, population, infinite." The lighthearted banter highlights the unique place the Duggars still hold in pop culture. Even years after their show's cancellation, people remain endlessly fascinated by the family's size, their faith, and their evolving dynamics. And while controversy has sometimes clouded the Duggar name, particularly after the scandals involving Josh Duggar, moments like these remind fans that humor, heart, and humanity still pulse through the family's story. Jim Bob's perspective. Still the proud patriarch. While Jinger's joke was clearly meant in fun, insiders say Jim Bob actually loves it. He's known for being deeply proud of his children and quick to laugh at their teasing. Jim Bob gets a kick out of it. One family friend told In Touch Weekly, "He's always said the Duggars are part of something bigger than themselves." When Jinger said that about 24 billion descendants, he just smiled and said, "Well, you never know what God can do." That response encapsulates Jim Bob perfectly: unshakable optimism, rooted in faith, and always ready to imagine what's next. Whether or not he's seriously planning for billions of Duggars, he clearly sees each addition to the family as a divine gift. The generational ripple effect. It's easy to laugh about the idea of billions of Duggars, but in a way, Jinger's remark shines light on something profound: the ripple effect of one family's values spreading across generations. Love them or not, the Duggars' influence on American family culture is undeniable. They've inspired countless conversations about faith, parenting, modesty, and the meaning of family itself. For years, TLC's cameras captured more than just a household. They chronicled a lifestyle that resonated with millions. Now, as the children grow up and form their own families, the next generation of Duggars represents an evolution of that legacy. Some are following closely in their parents' footsteps, while others, like Jinger, are finding new interpretations of old lessons. Either way, the legacy continues, and that's exactly what Jim Bob has always dreamed of: balancing humor, faith, and family. What makes the 24 billion descendants line so memorable is that it perfectly captures the intersection of humor and heart that defines Jinger's public personality today. She's aware of the public fascination with her family, and she doesn't shy away from addressing it. Instead, she leans into it with wit and honesty. The result is refreshing, a rare mix of reverence and realism. As she said in one podcast episode, "I think we all have our own paths to walk. For Dad, it's about legacy. For me, it's about living out my faith authentically and enjoying the family God's given me. And if we make people laugh along the way, even better." What's next for the Duggars? While Jinger and Jeremy's California life feels worlds away from her Arkansas roots, the Duggars remain a close-knit family. Jinger frequently travels back home for weddings, birthdays, and new baby celebrations. And yes, there are always new babies. Fans often speculate that the Duggars could make a return to TV in some form, perhaps through a new generation-focused spinoff. With so many grandchildren growing up fast, the idea isn't far-fetched. Imagine a show centered around the next-gen Duggars, a mix of family fun, parenting chaos, and evolving values. Whether that happens or not, the Duggars continue to hold a special place in pop culture. They've weathered storms, sparked debates, and inspired countless conversations about faith, freedom, and family. And through it all, humor, especially Jinger's brand of it, has remained a lifeline. A family that keeps on growing. When Jinger Duggar joked that her father is already thinking about 24 billion Duggar descendants, she was doing what she does best, using humor to reflect love. Behind the laughter is a family still navigating the complexities of faith, fame, and growth. Jim Bob may not live to see billions of descendants, but his dream of a vast, faithful family continues to unfold before his eyes. Meanwhile, Jinger stands as a bridge between tradition and transformation, a daughter who honors where she came from while embracing where she's going. And as fans keep watching from afar, one thing's for sure, whether it's 24 more Duggars or 24 billion, the family story is far from over.